Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We have a massive clash on our hands this Saturday lunchtime as second take on fourth in League One, with Cardiff City hosting Bolton Wanderers at the Cardiff City Stadium. The Bluebirds have had a sticky patch of form with just one win from their last six, as they picked up 3 points away to Exeter after a 4-0 thumping, but that was all the way back in the middle of March. Currently 12 points off Lincoln, who top the table. Cardiff will more than likely have to settle for second place in their hunt for automatic promotion. For Bolton, under Steven Schumacher, they have improved on last season's points tally already. They currently sit on 70 after only reaching 68 last season. But it is their away form which has stopped them from competing for those automatic spots. Just 6 wins from their 21 away league games this season, picking up 27 points from a possible 63 on their travels. The reverse fixture at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium saw a dramatic late winner for Bolton in a 1-0 victory after Loney Amaro Koziadubri planted one towards the top corner and gave Wanderers a huge scalp back in October last year. With so much on the line as we come into the last few weeks of the league campaign, can Cardiff step closer to Championship football next season, or will Bolton turn their fortunes around away from home and cement their playoff spot for the end of the season? That will be the main aim now for Bolton, just to make sure they get in those playoff positions. I think the automatic spots are a little bit too out of reach, but if they are to catch anyone to get that second position, it will have to be Cardiff, who currently take up that second spot, and they are not in great form at all. 1 win from their last 6 in the league, 2 in the last 8, if you want to date back a little bit further, and that's from towards the end of February. So now this is coming up to 6 to 8 weeks now for Cardiff of poor form, which is not what you want to go into the playoffs with. So if they can just about bundle themselves over the line and get that second position, I don't think they'll care how they do it at this point, as long as they get it done and get promoted. That's the main aim. But of course, it is a little bit of a worry with the fact that at the moment, automatic promotion is not guaranteed yet for Cardiff. They are so close. If they win today, they'll go 10 points clear of third position, who is currently Bradford, and that will be after playing the same amount of games. They'll both have 5 left once Cardiff finish their game today. So a win pretty much gives them 1 foot over the line in terms of that automatic promotion. But if they drop points today, mainly losing, I think a draw still wouldn't be the worst result for Cardiff. But if they lose and then Bolton gain 3 points on them, then the gap becomes 5 points between Bolton and Cardiff. And with 5 games to go for Cardiff, there'll be 4 left for Bolton at the end of today. Bolton have played a game extra. It just starts to get a little bit nervy, starts to get a little bit tense, and it's one of those things where in League One, you can have as a good squad as you think, but it's certain games where you expect yourselves to pick up points where you end up dropping points, and that's been the case certainly for Cardiff in their recent run of fixtures. I mean, in their last home game, they were held to a 0-0 draw to struggling Blackpool, who are right down near the bottom of the table, and drawing away to the likes of Barnsley, losing at home to Wickham, who have had a bit of a revival in the last couple of months with Michael Duff coming in as their manager. But still, for the pedigree of squad that Cardiff City have, very recently they have been dropping points they shouldn't have been dropping, and it has left Lincoln to just completely run away with it, and deservedly so. Lincoln have got themselves automatic promotion, will more than likely go on and win the league, and they've got a great chance of reaching 100 points. They're currently on 90 points from 41 games, so they've got 15 points left to play for. If they pick up 10 from those 15, then they'll hit a 100-point landmark. And for Cardiff, like I say, I think there'll definitely be slight concerns with their form at the moment and the fact they've not ran away with this league. But sometimes being relegated, no matter what division you're relegated from, being relegated and then having to bounce back straight away and have that expectancy to go straight back up can sometimes have a negative effect on the squad, and it's almost too much is needed from the players to go straight back up when they're still trying to mentally recover from being relegated. Of course, they'll bring in new players who weren't part of the squad who were relegated. But for Cardiff, I mean, in their starting 11 this afternoon, they've only got 2 signings that they brought in this season in the starting 11. The rest were already at the club when they were relegated. So it's not always as easy just to bounce straight back. I mean, Luton are the prime example of that. I mean, relegated from the Premier League, which I think a lot of people would have expected, but they went straight from the Premier League to the Championship, then straight down to League One, and they're just outside the playoffs now in League One. No guarantee they'll go straight back up themselves. So it's always a difficult season once you've been relegated, especially when you are the size of Cardiff going into a division like League One where you are expected to win the majority of your games. But it is a huge one here at the Cardiff City Stadium, with not long left now till kick-off, where I think both teams will certainly fancy winning this game. I mean, Bolton are in a lot better form in terms of defeats. They've not lost as many as Cardiff at the moment. I mean, both teams are drawing a lot of games, and in fairness, Bolton on their travels have drawn so many games. On their travels, they've drew 9 from 21, and 7 of those 9 draws that they've picked up away from home have been 1-1. So that might be a favourable scoreline to bet on this afternoon, because I don't think there'll be too much separating these two sides. They've both got tremendous talent going forward, but then also can be very solid at the back. I mean, Cardiff have picked up 15 clean sheets this season to Bolton's 11, but Bolton haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 6 away games, which will be a slight concern for Steven Schumacher. But we'll have to wait and see, and just watch on and how this game plays out. As both sets of teams and the officials walk out onto the pitch at the Cardiff City Stadium, opened back in 2009, can hold over 33,000 supporters. Not quite as full as that this time around, but hopefully once they're back in the Championship, there'll be more supporters turning out for Cardiff City. As we'll go through both sets of starting 11s right now, and we'll start with Cardiff City, as it is Nathan Trott to remain in goal. They signed him on loan with an option to buy from Copenhagen in the summer. He's kept 14 of their 15 league clean sheets. At right back is Perry and G. On the left-hand side at left back, making appearance 1-2-5 for Cardiff, is Joel Bagan. And 2 centre-halves, 2 youngsters of Will Fisher at the age of 23 and Dylan Lawler back in the starting 11 at the age of 20. 2 holding midfielders of Ryan Winsell and Alex Robertson, who comes in for Paul Turnbull. On the right-hand side is Ollie Tanner. On the left is Chris Willock, who replaces Keane Ashford in the starting 11. The captain, the number 10, playing in the number 10 role, is Ruben Colwell, and he'll be played just in behind Amari Kellyman, who is on loan from Chelsea. He's got 7 goals so far this season in the league, 0 in his last 7 games since a brace away at Plymouth when they were beaten 5-2 back on the 21st of February. As for Bolton, it is Jack Bonham in goal, brought in from Stoke in January. It's going to be a back 5, it looks like, potentially. Could also be a back 4, as Geordie Osi-Tutu could play as a right winger. We'll just have to wait and see. But at wing back, it'll be Geordie Osi-Tutu. On the left-hand side is Max Conway, with 3 potential centre-backs of Cyrus Christie, Owen Toll and George Johnston, with 2 central midfielders of Josh Sheehan and Kyle Dempsey, with Mason Burstow, Thierry Gale and Sam Dalby as the 3 attacking forwards for Bolton Wanderers this afternoon. Both teams are in their home kits as well for this one. As before we get underway, this afternoon's referee is Elliot Bell, who started refereeing in 2015, made his Football League debut back in April 2024, and he'll be overseeing this one, as Cardiff will be looking to take a step closer towards automatic promotion back into the Championship at the first time of asking. For Bolton, they're wanting to get back into the Championship, as they've not played in that division since 2019, when they were relegated in 23rd position. It'll be Bolton kicking right to left. It'll be Cardiff left to right. The sun is just about shining over in Cardiff, as it is Bolton to have the first kick of the game as we wait for the referee's whistle. It'll be interesting to see how Bolton line up. Will it be a back four or a back five? As Dempsey goes back to the goalkeeper of Bonham, who kicks it forward and high out to the right-hand side into the Cardiff half. It is headed on towards OC22. Ball drops back for Derby, loses out to Willock. And Cardiff can get it back into the centre half of Lawler, who's facing forward, plays it to the left back of Bagan, down the line towards Willock, who's shielding the ball away for Cardiff and keeps it, plays it inside to Wintle. And it's now in possession of the home side, who have been able to win it from kick-off and try and build an attack down the right-hand side. Cut out by Conway, the touch is heavy. One back for Cardiff by Colwell. It's now with Robertson just in front of the halfway line, clipping it high out to the left-hand side to Bagan, who chests it in front of him. Plays it to Willock, who drives inside, keeping the ball away from Christie. Now Robertson trying to return it to Willock, and he gets the return. Willock with the back heel. What a ball. Shot towards goal. It's a big save early on. Almost a goal already for Cardiff City. Amari Kellyman with the strike, forcing the save from Jack Bonham. Had to get down low, dive into his left to save. But it's an early warning sign for Bolton, who have just been cut apart way too easily. Got caught out with the 1-2 Cyrus Christie, the 33-year-old, as Cardiff are in again down the right-hand side. But the flag goes up on the near side on Ollie Tanner. And it's going to be a free kick for Bolton in a left-back position. In sort of a full red kit this afternoon. Jack Bonham, the Bolton goalkeeper, is a simple 1-2. And then Willock with the back heel as the overlap came in from Kellyman. Colwell wanted the pullback, but Kellyman went for the shot himself. Probably should have played the ball across to Colwell. But as the striker, he wants to score goals, not scored since the middle of February, but he's winning the ball back in the final third for Cardiff on the far right-hand side. Kellyman trying to turn away from the Bolton defender, pulled to the ground. Linesman doesn't see the foul, kicks the ball off Tanner, and that's going to be a throw-in for Bolton, won by Max Conway. Signed a new deal with Bolton back in October of last year until 2029. But it's Cardiff who have started. They're much brighter. Amari Kellyman almost scoring if it wasn't for the early save from Jack Bonham, the Stevenage-born goalkeeper. Of course, there's plenty of other games going on in leagues above and below Cardiff and Bolton. And we'll keep an eye out on the scores and the goals as they go in. It's Bolton on the ball, just in front of their 18-yard box here with Johnston playing at left centre-back this afternoon. It's sending a high ball over the top. There's too much on it. No one can chase that down quick enough for Bolton, despite having the pace of Gale up there and Burstow in their attacking ranks this afternoon, who have come in and replaced the likes of Sissoko and Kenny, who are out of the matchday squad for Bolton today. As the ball's been brought forward by Fish. Sees a ball out to the left. It's a high one over the head of Christie towards Willock. Will he keep it in? He can, flicking over the head of Christie. That's brilliant skill into the area. Plays the ball to Robertson, who can foul Sheehan on the edge of the area. Just overhit his touch there, Robertson, which meant he had to kind of stretch to try and keep the ball under his spell. Sheehan got there ahead of him, and he caught the Bolton midfielder. And it'll be a free kick on the edge of their own box for Bolton. But it was a great piece of vision from Will Fish to send the ball over the top down the left to Willock, and then to flick it over Christie's head and play the ball into Robertson was a scary sight for Stephen Schumacher, the Bolton manager, who's put Cyrus Christie in today, the experienced full-back, who's only started one of the last 12 previously for Bolton in the league before today. And that was in the home game against Doncaster recently when they drew 0-0 on the 17th of March. There's less than 4 minutes in. It's all Cardiff at the moment, and they've already won the ball back as Bolton went long into the Cardiff half. It's now Perry and G. Another switch out to the left. They see that maybe as a spot of weakness in the Bolton starting 11. It's Willock playing the overlap of Bagan, the number 3 for Cardiff. Thinking about the cross, doesn't really have the space to whip it in yet, so goes back here to Willock, who starts today, being brought into the starting 11. Bagan now has space to deliver, kicks it straight off Christie, and then back to Bagan, who can find Robertson on the edge of the area. He's going to curl it towards goal, forcing another save from Bonham. Aimed towards the top right corner, had so much time and space to turn and get the shot off there, Alex Robertson. And it is a save you'd expect the goalkeeper to make, but he still had to scurry across and make the dive and palm the ball behind for a corner. but in the 16 games he's played for Bolton since joining in January, Jack Bonham in goal. They've only lost once, and that was in the shock defeat away to Port Vale on the 21st of March. But he's been called into action early twice within the first 5 minutes of this game. It's going to be an in-swinging delivery from Bagan to the near post. It's a header away by Christie, straight to the chest of Ng, who tries to put it back into the area. It's headed away for Bolton, out to this left-hand side now to Robertson, who's got Willock, who's peeled out to this wide left-hand side, and he's found him. One-on-one now with the Bolton defender of Conway. Willock will cut inside and shoot. It's blocked by Christie. Ball deflects forward for Bolton, but it'll be Lawler to reach it first. It's now Wintle out to this near side to Ollie Tanner, who wants to cut onto that left foot, and he does just that and gets a shot off at the edge of the area, blocked again, drops to Ng, who shoots, that's deflected into Willock, who has a shot towards goal, and it's been saved once more, but the flag went up early. Did seem offside as Ng had the shot. But it's another good save from Bonham. This will just be growing his confidence in goal. Not like he doesn't have a lot of confidence already, like I say, on a good win streak whilst at Bolton since joining in January. But he's never won against Cardiff in his career, the goalkeeper, Jack Bonham. Played Cardiff 5 times previously, yet to win against the Bluebirds. As there is the Cardiff manager, Barry Murphy, aged 47, born in Cork in Ireland, taking charge of his 132nd game at this level, 150 of the previous 131. As in the area, Conway tackles Tanner, then clears it down the Bolton left. It's a ball for Burstow to chase. It's going to be headed behind for a throw-in on the halfway line by Will Fish, taking no chances there, the former England under-19 international. Still 0-0 at the Emirates as well, as Arsenal face Bournemouth. In the Championship, there's no goals as Coventry take on Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich and Ipswich, big derby in the Championship. And then QPR also hosting Bristol City. I think 2 for 2, aren't they? Under Roy Hodgson, who's took interim charge till the end of the season. Another Bolton long ball. They're struggling to play through the Cardiff press, and the header is won again by Fish. But it's now with Dempsey to Gale, going back towards his own half to keep the ball here for Bolton. Finding Johnston, the number 6. It's now on the edge of the area with the goalkeeper Bonham to the right centre half and the captain of Owen Toll. Finds Christie right back into Dalby. Christie again just inside their own half. They're finding it difficult to play between the lines. Good press from Cardiff. Bolton go back to the goalkeeper Bonham into the left centre half of Johnson, who can bring it away from the 18-yard area. Playing the ball forward to Burstow. And then out wide towards Gale. Is he caught as he passes? He was caught, but the referee doesn't see it as a foul. The ball had already gone. It's now Cardiff back in possession in the centre circle. A little bit of time on the ball for the number 18, Robertson, who tries to get it in behind for Willock. Will he get there ahead of Christie? Christie falls over the ball, but he was tripped by Willock as he was racing towards goal. And that's going to be a free kick for Bolton. Just on the edge of the area. It's been a slightly shaky start from Cyrus Christie, the former Irish international. Last played for Ireland in June 2022. Made 30 caps for his country. Obviously has Irish roots within his family because he was born in Coventry. Cyrus Christie came through their academy. Played for plenty of clubs. And he's played Cardiff 16 times in his career. He's only been beat to them twice, scoring once, and that was in a 1-0 win for Hull in a home fixture for them back in February 2023. As they switch out to the left-hand side towards Gale, too much on it. Going to be thrown in the defensive third for Cardiff on this near side. In a right-back position for Perry and G to take. Been at the club since January 2021. Perry and G's contract does expire at the end of this season. Not seen an extension made yet on his deal. The 29-year-old, is he still waiting to take this throw-in? Waiting for a little bit more movement from his teammates. He'll throw it down the line. Header won by Conway for Bolton, straight to Colwill. Tanner battling with Conway on this near side. Tanner still has it, flicks it off the full back. That's going to be thrown for Cardiff again towards the halfway line. There's Tanner just holding his face there, the winger. I think he might have just been accidentally caught in the jaw by Conway. Ng to take again. Finding the throw-in to Robertson. So much time on the ball for the midfielder, but then he gives it away to Dempsey. Out to Gale towards the halfway line. Pokes it back into his own half for Sheehan. And Bolton in possession. Less than 10 minutes in. It's been all Cardiff with the chances. Big saves being forced from Jack Bonham. As Christie dinks the ball down the right channel for Burstow to chase. And it's going to be dealt with by Lawler, just kicking the ball out for a throw-in for Bolton, midway inside the Cardiff half, as it's definitely a back four for Bolton, with Christie at right back and OC22 as a right winger. It's Christie, gets the ball returned to him from the throw. I think it goes back to the halfway line to Toll. Across to his centre-back partner of Johnston, who was out for the game against Stockport County on Easter Monday, but is returned for this lunchtime kick-off in Cardiff. As Bonham, another ball, it's a high one up towards Dalby, who's going to chase it. Trott has to come out of his area and head it out to the Cardiff left. And it's then played down the line by Bagan to Willock. Had to be confident with that piece of goalkeeping as Willock's poor pass is intercepted by Dempsey for Bolton. And the Wanderers are back in possession, midway inside their own half with Captain Toll. Being forced to go back to the goalkeeper. Bonham takes a touch and then kicks it high out to the left-hand side up towards Gale. Over his head and in G. And the ball will roll for a goal kick. Asking a lot there of Thierry Gale, the Barbados left winger. Only at the height of around 5'6". Managed Cardiff to build from the back 11 minutes in. Still goalless at the Cardiff City Stadium. Trott fires it out to the Cardiff right, straight out of play. Throwing on the halfway line for Bolton. Born in Bermuda. Nathan Trott, the Cardiff goalkeeper, but was a former England under-20 international. As Toll almost running into traffic there against Kellyman, but was able to get it back to his goalkeeper who can clear it. But only as far as Lawler for Cardiff. He tries to go all the way back towards his goalkeeper. It will just about reach Nathan Trott, who will send it away first time. And it's going to be a ball that bounces all the way back through to the opposite goalkeeper of Jack Bonham, the Stevenage-born goalkeeper. We'll take his time on the ball here. We'll play it forward through the middle. Finding Burstow, who's allowed to turn forward. Lays it off to his right to Christie. Then down the right-hand side. Looking for OC22. Runs into a blue shirt of Robertson. It deflects out to the left to Willock. Just in front of the halfway line for Cardiff. Got plenty of Bolton bodies to get through. As they play it back through Wintle into Dylan Lawler. Who's now becoming part of the Wales setup at international level. 5 caps now for Wales for Dylan Lawler. It's Perry and G at right back forward into the final third. Slightly isolated, but he gets away from Conway. Enters the area, pokes it through for Tanner. Left footed, tries to curl it. It deflects, it loops, and it just goes over and wide. It will be a corner for Cardiff on the far side. He is looking dangerous from that right flank. Ollie Tanner cutting onto that stronger left foot. Well, he scored the 1 league goal so far this season. Had a frustrating start to the campaign. He was out from August to December. But his 1 goal came at home to Wimbledon back in the middle of February. But the assists he's picked up is outrageous. He's got 11 assists, Ollie Tanner, to make up for his lack of goals. It's an in-swinger right on towards the goalkeeper to the back post. It's an important glancing header away by Johnston. It's going to be a throw-in on the opposite side for Cardiff. Asking questions of the Bolton defence with that corner. Putting them under a lot of early pressure, Cardiff City, in the opening 13 minutes. If you are new, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. In G, with the throw to Colwill, the captain. Playing it in the middle of the pitch to Lawler. Out wide left to Bagan. To the edge of the area to Robertson. Lays it off for Willock. Sheehan's closing him down. But Willock will lay it back off out to the left-hand side to Robertson. Returns the ball to Willock towards the byline. Being pulled down, but he can release it back to Robertson, who crosses. It deflects, and it's into the hands of the goalkeeper. At the near post as Bolton try and set away a counter-attack with a big kick over the top, and it was aimed towards Burstow, and he would have been in. But the referee stopped play because Kyle Dempsey has gone down for Bolton just inside their own 18-yard box. Started 4 of the last 5 now. Kyle Dempsey, the number 22 for Bolton, now at the age of 30. Didn't feature in the reverse fixture against Cardiff at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. About 14 and a half minutes in. Still goalless, but it's been all Cardiff. Bolton yet to really test Nathan Trott in the Cardiff City goal. As Ipswich have taken the lead at Norwich. Norwich 0, Ipswich 1. Philogene penalty. It looks like Ipswich are making their ground and making their gap further to the teams below them to try and get their automatic spot back into the Premier League. So back underway Kyle Dempsey back to his feet, and it's Cardiff City on the ball, just outside their 18-yard box. With the number 48, Dylan Lawler, joined Cardiff at the age of 7. Now 20 years of age, with his birthday dropping on New Year's Day. Still on the ball, Dylan Lawler, going out wide, left, forward into the Bolton half here to Bagan. Finding the ball to the feet of Chris Willock, who's going to run at Cyrus Christie into the area towards the byline, left-footed, ball across, it's palmed out, and it falls back towards Willock, who will battle with OC22, and it's an offside flag up on Willock. And the free kick will go Bolton's way. There will just be a slight sense of concern for Cardiff that they're not ahead in this game yet. If they were to score, they'd be thoroughly deserving of their 1-goal lead, but at the moment they're still being held to a goalless draw. Got a couple of difficult away fixtures coming up. Cardiff City got to travel to playoff chasing Huddersfield and Reading after this, and then 2 easier home games against relegation pretty much confirmed almost for Port Vale and Northampton, then finishing away at Mansfield, which is never an easy place to go. And for Bolton on paper, their remaining 4 fixtures after today look very difficult. Stevenage at home, Huddersfield at home, Bradford away, Luton at home. All 4 of those teams well within the playoff hunt to try and get themselves promoted. As Kellyman loses out on the halfway line and Bolton win it in a more advanced position. Burstow back into Johnston and then into Toll. It's gone back into the Bolton defence as Toll will bring the ball forward and poke it forward. OC22 facing away from goal, so has to go back to the halfway line to Christie. Bournemouth take the lead at Arsenal. Arsenal trail. Junior Krupi. He seems to have been a fantastic signing for Bournemouth. And Arsenal do trail as Sheehan goes over the top down the centre of the pitch, but no one's making the run in behind. It'll run straight through for Nathan Trott, who's in a full black kit this afternoon for Cardiff City. Can never go wrong with a full black kit. They always look nice, especially when certain kits have got like gold strips or gold patterns on the shirt. It's over 17 minutes in, still 0-0, but Cardiff have definitely come the closest. As the ball out to the right, looking for Ollie Tanner. Too much on it, throwing for Bolton. They are 4th in the away league table this season, Bolton, 7 points off Cardiff, who have been a little bit better on their travels. But it is Bolton who have massively let themselves down away from home. Just 6 wins, 2 in their last 6 against 2 rivals to each other of Plymouth and Exeter. It's in the left-back position for Bolton with Conway. His clearance is blocked off by Tanner. Good pressing from the 23-year-old, almost at a century of appearances for Cardiff City. Ollie Tanner, this is appearance number 98 for them. And he almost joined Tottenham before he joined Cardiff. He joined the Welsh side in July 2022, but he couldn't agree personal terms with Tottenham back in the January of 2022. And he didn't move to the North London club over 4 years ago now. As Sam Dalby has won a free kick for Bolton on the left-hand side. It's deep, but it's certainly a chance to thump the ball forward in towards the 18-yard box. About 10 or 15 yards inside the Cardiff half, just out to this left-hand side. It's going to be Max Conway to take it. The left-back. Diagonal ball into the 18-yard box. It's a good header by Kellyman. OC22 will try and keep it alive for Bolton, but his headed touch goes straight out of play. Throwing it in a left-back position for Cardiff, taken by Joel Bagan. He throws it to Robertson, back to Bagan, and lifts it over OC22 for Robertson. Keeps his body between the ball and OC22 and keeps it for Cardiff. Back to Bagan, lifts it up towards Kellyman. Header won by Toll. Back forward by Robertson, but a head tennis going on at the moment. It's eventually brought down by Willock, who wants to advance forward, and he's been tackled and fouled by OC22 just before the halfway line. And that's going to be a free kick for Cardiff on that far side. He's had a lively start to the game, Chris Willock, on that left-hand side. 7 goals in the league this season for the number 16, but he's not scored in any of his last 10 since scoring away at Rotherham at the start of February. Just started 2 of the last 8 now. Chris Willock didn't get off the bench in their last game against Peterborough. Ruben Colwill on this near side, being tracked by Dempsey. Pokes it towards the halfway line to Fish, being closed down by Burstow. Can play the ball across to his centre-back partner of Lawler. Bagan at left-back on the halfway line. Going back across to Lawler. Everyone behind the ball for Bolton, ticking over the 20th minute. It's still 0-0 at the Cardiff City Stadium. Ng, forward to Tanner. Back into Ng, who's made an advance run into the area. Ng with the ball across, and it's off the crossbar. Still alive. Tanner with the strike, doesn't quite catch it. Still alive. Winsel from afar, lets fly. It goes miles wide of the post, and that's the biggest chance of the game. Realistically, Alex Robertson has got to score. Scored in their last game off the bench against Peterborough. Oh, how has he not scored? Right in the middle of the pitch. On the 6-yard line. He's had a swipe at it and he's just got a little bit too underneath the ball and slams it off the crossbar. Huge opportunity for Cardiff. I'm not quite sure how they're not leading this game. But at the moment, 21 minutes in, still Cardiff 0, Bolton 0. What an opportunity for Alex Robertson, who's got 6 league goals himself, 3 in his last 7, including that one off the bench in their game on Monday away at Peterborough. Dalby with the ball forward, holds it up brilliantly, lays it off to Burstow. On the edge of the area, slips it through into the box towards OC 2-2. Well shielded behind by Bagan. And that's going to be a goal kick for Cardiff. Just not quite going in the final third themselves so far, Bolton Wanderers. Whereas Cardiff have created plenty of opportunities and probably should have scored by now. As it's Bolton who are back in possession after a long ball forward for Cardiff, went out of play for a throw-in. It's now Bonham to the left centre half of Johnston. He's going to kick the ball forward and it's up towards Dalby, who heads it into the space for Burstow. Can't quite get there ahead of Fish. And it's Cardiff back in possession with their goalkeeper Nathan Trott. Came through at West Ham for 8 years, between 2016 and 2024. Winsel back into Trotts on the penalty spot. For Cardiff City, no Bolton player closing him down as he will play a left-footed ball out to the Cardiff right towards Ng. Brings it down beautifully just within the Bolton half. Tanner then inside for the runner Colwill, marching away from Dempsey, who slides in, and Colwill can keep it in and cross it in. The header's won by a Cardiff man, and wide it goes. Again, it's Robertson with the opportunity. Fantastic running down the right flank by Colwill. Didn't allow the challenge from Dempsey to knock him off balance. Stayed on his feet, just about got there before the ball went out. Well-weighted cross. Kellyman was up there, who might have been the better option to win the header at 6'3". Instead of Robertson, who was just ahead of him, got up the highest and headed wide of the left-hand side of the goal. And Bolton again are somehow keeping a clean sheet intact. Not sure how long that will last, as Cardiff are certainly turning the screw in this game, knowing that their recent form hasn't been good enough and they need to try and get this automatic promotion sorted as soon as possible. Say if they win today, they'll go 10 points clear of Bradford in third, and they'll both have 5 games left to play respectively. So it's still Arsenal 0, Bournemouth 1 at the Emirates. Still the only goal in the Championship is the Ipswich penalty from Philogene against Norwich away from home. In the other League One fixtures, League One, it is Lincoln who lead at home to Leyton Orient as they try and guarantee themselves the league title. And then Plymouth Exeter is goalless at 0-0. Conway at left back for Bolton pokes it down the line for Gale. Has the touch gone out of play? It hasn't. He can work it down the line to Dalby, then into the midfield to Dempsey. Sheehan, who's not seen too much of the ball in the opening 24.5 minutes, the Bolton number 8. Now back with the goalkeeper Bonham. A long ball forward, down the right-hand side. It's just, again, towards no one in a Bolton shirt, straight through for Trott in the Cardiff City goal. And it'll be the Bluebirds to build from the back to try and get themselves in front in this game. Very dramatic circumstances the victory for Bolton in the reverse fixture. A 94th minute by Amario Cozier-Dubrit, the man who is back on the bench for Bolton this afternoon. He's been missing since January. And his return came against Stockport County in the last game, coming off the bench. And he's on the bench again this afternoon as Cardiff have got it out to the left-hand side in the box. It's Robertson who puts the ball in. And it deflects off the side netting in behind for a corner. So close for Cardiff again. Robertson was found in the box on the left-hand side. He went for the outside of the right boot delivery. And I think it came off Christie and almost went in the back of his own net. Skimmed the side netting. But Cardiff have a corner on the far side. It's going to be taken by the number 18, Alex Robertson, who's come close on multiple occasions now for this opening goal. It's an in-swinger towards the centre of the box. It's headed away by Toll. It's going to be kept alive on the right side by Ng, who might try and recycle across back in. Goes down the line to Tanner instead. Just inside the box, left-footed. It's stopped by Conway. And that's going to be a throw-in right next to the corner flag on this near side for Cardiff. Who'll be kicking themselves if they don't get at least a one-goal lead by the time the half-time whistle comes. Thrown towards Kellyman. Flicks it to Tanner. In the area. Can he get the shot off? He can, and it's blocked again by a Bolton body. And it deflects through to Dalby. Can't hold it up against Fish. It's now Wintle on the right flank. Can he cross it? No, he plays it inside instead for Ng on the edge of the area. No one's closing him down. Outside of the boot attempt. And it just doesn't curl inwards enough to force a save. And it goes out for a goal kick. Bolton just seems so static and stagnant. No one closing down. Perry and G, who, don't get me wrong, was more on the angle for a left-footed shot. So a right-back having a left-footed shot never usually ends well. That's why he attempted the shot with the outside of his boot, of his stronger right foot. But needs to try and wake up. As we're 27 minutes in, it's still 0-0, but Cardiff could have easily been 2 or 3-0 up by now. Cardiff win it back in the Bolton half. Colwell, he's got Tanner to his right. He tries to slip it into the box towards Robertson. Well dealt with by Conway, who's had his shirt pulled. And it's been given as a corner. Oh, that's a bad decision. Really poor. Clear pull of the shirt there by Robertson on Conway. Should have been a free kick. Not given. Conway got there ahead of Robertson and tried to shield the ball out and try and make the clearance, but his shirt was pulled, which forced him to go down. But the referee or the linesman didn't see it. That's bad officiating. Now Cardiff have another corner. Goes short to Wintle. Right-footed. Dinks it in. Oh, it's a delicious delivery. Can't quite reach the head of Fish. Headed away. Kept alive on the left-hand side by Lawler. Willock. Lifts it through towards Bagan. Too much on it. And that's a goal kick for Bolton, who are riding their luck. Even though they did just get a bit of bad fortune there, not receiving that free kick from the referee, Elliot Bell. Still 1-0 to Bournemouth, still 1-0 to Ipswich, still 1-0 to Lincoln. And in League 2, Bristol Rovers lead Crawley 1-0 and MK Dons are beating Bromley 2-0. I think that's first against second, isn't it? Or second against first, yes. Gap is 4 points between the top two teams with 3 games to go. If that stays the same, as Bolton go long again, can't reach Dalby, and Cardiff again can build from the goalkeeper. Ball forward towards Colwell, can't quite get the touch right. It's now Dempsey runs into traffic and Colwell wins it back and will maraud down the right hand side into the final third. Chops back, playing it across, or tries the reverse ball towards Tanner in the area. Can it be seen out by Johnson? He has to kick it out and away. Will be kept in though by Ng on this near side. Shielding the ball away from Gale, but the ball has just run out of play. It will be a throw-in for Bolton. I'm sure Stephen Schumacher will have plenty to say to his Bolton team at half-time if things don't change. Throwing down the line, headed on by Ng towards Kellyman. Tries to nod it up into the sky, headed away by Johnston. Controlled by Robertson, about 25 yards out. 5-yard pass to his left to Willock, who wanted to shoot. Took away from him by Osi Tutu. Then cleared by Toll, but straight to Lawler on the halfway line. This has been so dominant from Cardiff. And this is the sort of performance showcasing why they're second in the league and why they should be returning to the Championship at the first time of asking. Just lost twice, 4 times this season at home in the league. 2 in their last 3 against Wycombe 2-0 and also to Lincoln, who were at the time their title rivals. They've now gone and ran away with it, Lincoln City. Perry and G, everyone behind the ball for Bolton. Forward into a more central position for Colwill, who then brings the ball out to the right-hand side, lays it off for Tanner. Onto that left foot, gets around Conway, does he? Is he tripped? No, he isn't. Tackled fairly according to the referee, and Conway again just goes long up towards Burstow this time, comes off his back and then deflects to Lawler. And Cardiff have it back. Not attempting to play any sort of football, this Bolton team, getting the ball and hoofing it, and it's just giving it straight back to the opposition. That diagonal ball's loose, headed down by Christie to Sheehan, and then back to Toll. It's now with the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box. Bonham has to clear first time. Flick forward by Dempsey. Dalby loses out to Lawler, who brings it forward in the Bolton half. Looking out to the left-hand side, keeps running forward with it, then plays it out to his left to Willock. 1-on-1 with OC22. Goes towards the byline, and then tries to chop back. Last touch comes off OC22. Corner for Cardiff on the far side again. Another chance for Alex Robertson to deliver. The 22-year-old turning 23 next week. Robertson delivers into the middle of the box again. Header won by Toll. Put back in with the head of Bagan. And then another header away for Bolton. But it'll be in G to get there ahead of Gale. And it goes all the way back to Nathan Trott for Cardiff City. The number 6, Ryan Wintle, on the ball. Another man who has his contract expiring at the end of this season. Willock on the left wing just before the final third. Uses Robertson, who's the furthest left for Cardiff. Back inside to Willock. Bagan. Willock in the area, trying to complete the 1-2. It's been dealt with by Christie, who clears it out to the Bolton left. Straight to Ng. Brings it down calmly. Surrounded by no Bolton shirts. Wintle being forced to go back through the press of Burstow, who gets the foot in, but it can be worked to Ng. Now Tanner, everything to his left for the Cardiff, number 11. Cutting inside again onto that left foot. Playing the ball to Colwill, wanting the 1-2. Couldn't quite work it back to Tanner. And Bolton clear up towards Burstow. Heads it back, but only as far as Ng. And Cardiff, who've been all over Bolton Wanderers, still search for the opening goal of the game. With just over 12 minutes left to play in this first half. Willock in the final third. Sheehan standing in front of him. Tries to go around Sheehan. Cutting onto his right foot, plays the ball to Bagan, back into Willock in the corner of the area on the left-hand side. Out wide towards the corner flag to Robertson, shifts it onto his right foot, delivers a ball into the area, and it's headed away by Toll as it was reaching Kellyman. Tackle from Colwill, and G will keep it in on the near side. Down the line for Colwill, turning and spinning away from Dempsey, brilliant skill from the number 10, and captain overruns it, goes in for a big challenge. It's going to be a free kick that goes Bolton's way. For a shirt pull, not for the sliding challenge, but for a shirt pull that he made whilst he was charging towards goal. Good spin on Dempsey, but as he was trying to get away from Dempsey, he was holding his shirt, and that's why the referee's given the foul and the free kick, not for the sliding challenge, which in fairness seemed fair. Completely took out Sheehan, but certainly won the ball. Now the Bolton goalkeeper's down. Looking like holding his right hip potentially. I think this is the prime example of a tactical break for Bolton, because they've been completely outplayed in the opening 34 minutes and have not combated Cardiff once instead of trying to win the ball back and actually play football and go forward. They keep going long and just losing the ball once more. So maybe Schumacher has found a different way for Bolton to try and keep more of the possession in this game. As Arsenal have a penalty at the Emirates to try and get the game all square at 1-1. As we do have a pause in our game just for the injury here, or the suspected injury to the goalkeeper Bonham. as Bristol Rovers are 2-0 up now against Crawley, as it looks like Bristol Rovers have completely steered away from any sort of relegation problem they might have had a couple of months ago. But for Crawley, their season's still not over. Just sat 4 points outside the relegation zone. As Arsenal have dispatched their penalty, Victor Gyökeres. So 1-1 at the Emirates. If they draw the game, they'd be 10 points clear of Manchester City. City would have 2 games in hand and also a game against Arsenal at the Etihad. So back underway, the goalkeeper for Bolton, of course, absolutely fine. Fires out to the left towards Conway, who heads it towards the Cardiff 18-yard box. No one making an advance run for Bolton. And that's going to be a Cardiff ball again, just within their own half. Fish, midway side his own half. No one pressing him at the moment. Just less than 10 minutes of the 45 to play. I'm guessing we'll get a couple of minutes added on as the ball fired over the top for Cardiff. Poor accuracy on the pass straight through to the Bolton goalkeeper. Usually better with his passing there, Will Fish. As it's now OC 2-2. There is runs being made in behind as he has it in a central area. Plays to his left to Dempsey to keep the ball moving. Kyle Dempsey in the centre circle. Not got loads of options ahead of him and he runs into traffic. Kellyman dropping in, but this has been given as a foul. Must have caught the man before winning the ball there, Amari Kellyman. Loanee from Chelsea. Signed for Chelsea back in June 2024 for £19 million from Aston Villa. Potentially a bit of a soft foul, but Bolton will take it and send the free kick over the top down the left-hand side. It'll be just kept in by Conway, and there's no flag, and he turns his man at Tanner and puts a low ball in. Deflected away by Winsell. And that'll be thrown in the final third for Bolton on this left-hand side. Their first even look towards the Cardiff goal in this game, it feels. And they might have a potential chance to put a long throw into the area. It's going to be taken by their number 6, George Johnston. A player for Bolton whose contract expires at the end of the season. Played under Gerrard during his youth days at Liverpool, as Gerrard was doing his early coaching stages. As the throwing goes into the near post, it's a header one there by Colwill for Cardiff. Or was that Fish? I think that was Fish for Cardiff. And it's going to be a throw in again. It's going to be taken by Conway this time. The left back throws it in towards the 18-yard box to Burstow, who wins the touch with the chest but then pulls down his man. And that's going to be a free kick for Cardiff. That completely sucks out any sort of pressure that the home team might have been feeling there, because they've not had to do much defending in this game so far. 38 minutes in, still goalless at the Cardiff City Stadium. Trot with a long ball, and it's glanced back by Johnston to his own goalkeeper. Cleverly done there by the number 6. Currently 7 points clear of 7th position Bolton with this draw. Of course, it's the top 6, well, 3rd to 6th, who claim playoff positions as Bonham's clearance is deflected, dropped straight to Willock in the corner of the box on the left-hand side. Playing it into Kellyman, then returns it to Willock, who can shoot towards goal. Doesn't quite hit the top corner. Not the worst of attempts there by Chris Willock. Bonham taking too long to clear, was closed down by Kellyman, and it fell straight to the feet of Willock. He was running forward. Found the ball through to Kellyman, who then returned it to Willock to try to bend it to that far corner, but was just slightly off balance. Didn't seem too comfortable with taking the shot on. And it's another let-off for Bolton, who still somehow survive in this first half, keeping it goalless. Big kick forward towards Dalby for Bolton. It's flicked on and almost reached Burstow in behind. Couldn't quite get beyond the centre half of Fish. And Cardiff can now try and get into the Bolton half with their passing movement that they've been doing all game so far. Like his possession football, Brian Barry Murphy, the head coach for Cardiff City, who's, of course, won 50 League One games in his career as a manager. And he's also lost 50 as well, with 31 draws in between. Was relegated from League One in 2021 when he was the manager of Rochdale. That was before his time at Manchester City's youth level. As Tanner, down the line, down the right-hand side for Colwell, where there's space, pulls it across to the edge of the area to Willock, who touches it on for Bagan, then back into Willock. Works it to Kellyman on the edge of the area. Keeps it simple to Robertson. Bagan gets himself back on side, and the ball's eventually played to him. Now to Willock on that far side. Trying to keep the ball away here from Christie. 5-yard pass back to Robertson, then forward to Bagan. Then round the corner for Willock. Good football from Cardiff. Ball goes in towards Colwell. Can he take it under control? He can't. And eventually cleared by Christie. Headed back forward by Fish, but straight to Burstow. Can he feed it over the top for Dalby, who will give chase to the ball? The goalkeeper's come out and again has to head it away as it just couldn't quite reach his 18-yard box. But it will be a Bolton throw-in midway side the Cardiff half on the near side. Twice he's had to do that now, Nathan Trott. And both times done it very calmly, heading the ball away from danger. Still yet to have a shot in the game, Bolton. But then in fairness, Cardiff have only had 2 shots on target from their 12 in total. 4 minutes to go at the half. Headed away by Bagan, controlled by Robertson, but it's a little bit loose, and it's Sheehan to pick it up. Forward to OC22. Into Burstow. Switches out to the left. Good ball to Conway. Controls it well. He's got Gale just behind him on the edge of the area. Works it to the left winger, who can try and dink a ball in. It deflects, and the corner can be avoided by Trott. And we've got 3.5 minutes left of this first half, plus any added on time. Dylan Lawler on the ball at left centre-back for Cardiff City. Signed a new contract in August of 2025 at the start of this season. It was a 3-year deal. For Dylan Lawler, as Cardiff give it away in the midfield through Kellyman. Sheehan, just in front of the centre circle, working it out towards the left-hand side. Kellyman with the slide tackle from behind, wins the ball. Slide tackle in from Bolton, just deflects it out to the right to Tanner. He's got plenty of bodies to his left, including Colwell and Robertson. Tanner will go on his own, and he shapes it towards the top left corner. Just slightly high and a bit too wide. And it remains 0-0. Could he have maybe found a pass instead there, Ollie Tanner? No one was stopping him from shooting. Just didn't get his foot around the ball enough. I think Chris Willock was maybe the clearest option on the far left. Looked like he was completely on his own. But it remains 0-0. Long kick forward by Bonham. Headed the wrong way by Robertson, but to his teammate of Wintle. Who plays it behind Colwell, and it runs through to the Bolton defence. Now in the left-back position with Conway. Gale. Back to Conway. Cardiff constantly forcing Bolton to play the ball backwards. Getting the press spot on. Ball played forward to Dalby. Touched it out wide to OC22. Can't return it to Dalby. Last touch off Lawler, throwing just before the halfway line for Bolton. As we edge closer to half-time. Bonham, just in front of his 6-yard box for Bolton. Another long kick goes forward. Up towards Dalby, who's allowed to control it in the centre circle. Lays it off to his right to Burstow. He's got OC22 furthest wide right, and he finds him. OC22 cuts onto his left foot on the edge of the area. Plays a pass into Sheehan, who's a bit more centrally placed. Goes to his right to Christie. Dempsey. Back into Christie forward from right back. Switches it towards the left to Johnston. It's now with Thierry Gale. 1-on-1 with Ng. Wants it on the right foot. Plays it out wide to Conway. Johnston. Patiently building here, Bolton. Trying to get their first shot of the game. Christie. Being closed down by Willock. And they've been forced all the way back into their own half and to the goalkeeper, Bonham. Cardiff have suffocated Bolton all game so far. And Bolton have to go long, and then the header's one for Cardiff. Cannon forward, touched by Kellyman, but he was coming back from an offside position. Free kick for Bolton. It has, at the moment, been a masterclass in pressing from Cardiff City, who in their last game against Peterborough completed their 50th game of the season, their 50th under Barry Murphy. They've won 29 all season, including 4 of those wins in the League Cup, which got them to that quarter-final against Chelsea at home. They have lost 12 games, and the majority of them have been at home. 7 at home. It's Fish. Can't quite head it away convincingly enough. It's now OC2 on the right-hand side. Forward to Dempsey. Flag stays down. 2 minutes added on at the end of the first half. Christie, about 25 yards out. Doesn't know where to play the ball next. He charges forward. Keeps it. Then works out wide to Conway. Out of his feet. To then cross it deep. Is it too deep? Yes. Well caught by Trott. And Bolton still yet to have a shot as it's thrown out down the left-hand side to Willock. Not loads of support there for him as he's going to try and have a run at this Bolton defence. Slips it through for Kellyman, who gets there ahead of Johnston. Been forced wide, who then squares it across, but no one's committed. And the ball will roll for a goal kick for Bolton. It was on a plate for anyone to tap that one home. Like I say, he was forced wide there, Kellyman, in the box, so the shot wasn't the option, but the ball, the cross was, and he got it perfectly right, but just no one committed in there. And it somehow remains 0-0 at the Cardiff City Stadium. Bolton hanging on for dear life. Still 1-1 at the Emirates as they edge towards half-time. Looks like Ipswich have doubled their lead before the break as well. The other 2 games, Coventry, Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, Bristol City, are both still 0-0. 40 seconds left of the first half. Burstow playing it to his left to Conway, about 10 yards away from the halfway line. Dinks the ball forward toward Dempsey, who controls it with a chest, but he's coming back from an offside position. So it'll be a free kick for Cardiff to close out this first half as George Hurst has got the second for Ipswich. Diagonal switch towards Willock for Cardiff. Can bring it down and play it back to Bagan just inside the Cardiff half. Tries to return it to Willock, well cut out by Christie as he stretched as far as he could. Dalby, Sheehan, forward and in behind for Burstow. Doesn't get there ahead of Bagan. That's a brilliant sliding tackle. But as far as Dalby, who's got support to his right, plays it to Burstow, who can get the cross into the area, to the back post towards Gale. That's a vital header away by Ng. And that will see the half-time whistle blown. Bolton have gone the full first half without a shot at goal. But they came almightily close at the end of the first half to scoring. A chance down the right-hand side. It was Burstow who just lifted it to the back post, but Gale didn't get there ahead of Ng, who glanced it away. And at half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium, despite plenty of chances, a crossbar hit from Alex Robertson. He also forced a save from Bonham, so was Willock and Kellyman. But at the end of the first half, somehow, in some way, it's Cardiff City 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. Unbelievably, Bolton are still level in this game. Not quite sure how, to be completely honest. They've been outplayed in every sense, in every position, but it's just been that final shot for Cardiff, which they've just not got right enough this season. Should have scored at least 2 or 3 already in this game. Like I say, Alex Robertson, midway inside the half, hitting the crossbar from 6 yards out. But that's got to be one of the more perfect halves of football from Cardiff City. The only thing they're missing is the goal. As at the Emirates, it is half-time. It's 1-1. Bournemouth took the lead in the 17th minute through Junior Krupic. But 10 minutes before the break, Gyökeres from the penalty spot made it 1-1. In the Championship, Coventry 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. And then at Carrow Road, Norwich trail, Norwich 0, Ipswich 2. Goals from Philogene and Hurst. And then QPR are also drawing 0-0 like Coventry and Sheffield Wednesday against Bristol City. And then in League One, Leyton Orient have travelled to already promoted Lincoln and they are losing by a goal to 0. And then Plymouth Exeter is also goalless. In League Two, Bristol Rovers lead Crawley by 2 goals to 0. And MK Dons also are winning against Bromley by 2 goals to 0. The top 2 teams in the division now separated by just 4 points with 3 to play. And also in the National League, Bournemouth are drawing 0-0 at home to Hartlepool as Bournemouth are trying to get into the top 3 of that division, looking unlikely. And then Tamworth are losing at home to York City, who are 1-0 up. This win puts them on 104 points after 44 games played. That'll put them 5 points clear of Rochdale, who have still got to play later on today, as Rochdale will face Wealdstone at home in the 5:30 kick-off. And there's also a game happening in La Liga, 19 minutes in. Real Sociedad 1, Alaves 1. Luka Sucic with the goal for Sociedad, someone I know very well off Football Manager, even though I've not played that game in a very long time. But those are the scores at the moment. I'm going to have a quick 10-minute break for half-time, so make sure you're back in around 10 minutes, where we'll be bringing second half live commentary of Cardiff City against Bolton at the moment at the Cardiff City Stadium. It's all level. Bolton still yet to have a shot. Cardiff have hit the crossbar. It's still 0-0, a lot to play for, but I will be back in 10 minutes. Make sure you're back as well. But at the moment, at half-time, it's Cardiff City 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. Hello, and we are back for the second half between Cardiff and Bolton. Currently 0-0, but Cardiff have been the much better side in the opening 45 minutes. Bolton still haven't had a shot on goal. Every time they've won the ball back, the Wanderers, they have pumped it forward long, and 9 times out of 10 it's gone straight back to a Cardiff player, and they've just gone and attacked again. It's been a real struggle for Stephen Schumacher's side. I'll be interested to see if he's made any changes at half-time. Don't get me wrong, a draw for Bolton isn't the worst result, really. I think they're kind of accepting the fact that they won't be able to get automatic promotion. If they are to get it, they've got to win today. But a point will definitely help their placement within the playoffs and get them a chance to be promoted via the playoffs with a trip to Wembley. But for Cardiff, their main aim is automatic promotion. They will definitely not want any playoff campaign, and in fairness, if they win today, they'll be 10 points clear of Bradford, with them and Bradford having 5 games left to play each. So 10 points clear, 5 games to play. I know Cardiff have been in bad form themselves, just 2 wins from their last 8 in the league since the middle of February, but today they've played outstanding football, and they're very unfortunate not to be leading. Alex Robertson hitting the crossbar from 6 yards out. We've had Willock having a couple of strikes that have gone high and wide. Tanner have had shots at goal. They've just been lacking shots on target, really, and that needs to change in the second half as we're about to get underway. For the second 45 minutes, it'll be Cardiff kicking right to left, Bolton left to right towards their away support that are in the corner of the stadium towards the left-hand side. They're still waiting for their team to have a shot. Will that happen in the second half? We'll have to wait and see, but we're back underway with Cardiff on the ball, going long down their right channel. It's a clearance away from Johnston, controlled by Colwill. Forward to Tanner, can't return it to Colwill. Now Sheehan in the midfield for Bolton. Surrounded and swarmed straight away, but can play the ball to Conway. Then Dalby down the left channel, looking for Gale, just too much on it. And it will roll out for a throw-in for Cardiff City, who in the league at home have won 14 of their 20 games. Not won any of the last 3, though. The last time they won at home was against Wimbledon in a 4-1 win back on the 17th of February, almost 2 months ago now. Throw from Ng, headed on by Kellyman. And that's going to be a throw-in for Bolton. Couldn't quite keep it in play. The 6'3" Loney from Chelsea. There's the throw-in here for Bolton. It's going to be taken by Max Conway. He spent time out on loan during his time growing into senior football at Buxton, Rochdale, Fylde, and then most recently last season at Crewe in League 2, finishing 13th. With Crewe, Alexandra. As a long ball for Bolton, headed on by Burstow towards Dalby. Headed away from him by Fish, and then played all the way back to Trott for Cardiff. Just over a minute into the second half. It's still goalless, no goal-mouth opportunities as of yet. Bolton have picked up 30 points from a possible 45 in their last 15 league games. Coming into form at the right time. But away from home has been their main struggle. It's Trott, long kick for Cardiff, out towards their right-hand side, headed on by Conway for Bolton, controlled by Colwill, the captain. Not got loads of room on that right flank, but can work it to Tanner, slightly inside of him. And then into Kellyman on the edge of the area, shielding the ball away from the Bolton defenders, works it to the left to Willock, just inside the area. He's got Bagan on the overlap, finds him, Bagan driving inside, been tackled. And it's now out in the right-back position to OC22. Forward, looking for Dalby. Wintle gets there first, and it's well won back for Cardiff from their number 6, Ryan Wintle, making his 160th appearance for the club. The 28-year-old scored just the once this season. That was in a huge home win against Plymouth in August. It was a cracker of a strike. Commentating on that game, and it was a worldie from Wintle as Lawler puts a cross in, cleared by Toll. But straight back in Cardiff possessions, the clearance finds its way to Ryan Wintle, who spent last season on loan at Millwall, only making the 3 starts in all competitions out of his 23 appearances. Switch for Cardiff, out to the left-hand side, loads of space for Willock. Just outside the area, cutting onto his right foot, thought about the shot, lays it off instead for Wintle, out of his feet, slips a pass through out to the left side of the box. Doesn't work its way to Bagan, cleared by OC22. And the second half is working out just like the first. Complete Cardiff domination. Willock driving inside again, playing a pass across the pitch here to Wintle, about 30 yards from goal. Works the ball to Ng. It's now Colwill. On his left foot, playing it across to Bagan forward from left back. 25 yards out, thought about the shot, tries to cut inside, stopped in his tracks by Sheehan, but the ball deflects to Lawler from centre half, on the edge of the area, slips it through for Robertson, chops past one, delivers it to the far post, controlled by Tanner, the angle's tight, and the cross is deflected behind for a corner. Silky piece of skill there from Alex Robertson to chop beyond Christie, who flew in with a sliding tackle, sent off the pitch. And it's unlucky and unfortunate for Cardiff that nothing more came of that. But there is a set-piece opportunity for the Bluebirds. Plenty of bodies within that 6-yard area. And it goes in swinger and headed towards goal. And it's in from Amari Kellyman. It was only a matter of time until Cardiff City took the lead. And eventually, they've scored just under 5 minutes into the second half. He's not scored since their away thumping to Plymouth back on the 21st of February. But from the corner, he was able to win the header, then steer it towards the far corner of the goal. Oh, it's a brilliant delivery from Bagan. And Kellyman lost his marker. They've gone zonal. And the captain Toll for Bolton just slightly caught cold. And Kellyman could rise the highest and send Cardiff into the lead. And as we just tick over minute 50, it's Cardiff 1, Bolton 0. I think the frustration for Bolton won't be the fact that they're trailing, because they deserve to be trailing, because they've not been good enough at all. And Cardiff have been superb, but I think the fact they've conceded from a set piece will lead to a little bit of frustration for Steven Schumacher. It was a little bit of a mix in the box of Bolton. I think they were half man marking and half going zonal. Owen Toll was one of the zonal players, kind of trying to guard the 6-yard line. But Kellyman just kind of peeled away from the 6-yard box, and Toll just didn't quite catch him in his eyesight and was just a bit too late to the header, and it was a brilliant header, it must be said. And Cardiff eventually kept themselves into the lead. That now puts them 10 points clear of Bradford in third. So 10 points clear with 15 points left to play for. It is looking like Cardiff will very soon secure that second spot for automatic promotions. Gale on the left wing towards the byline. He's able to clip a ball into the area. Header can't be won by Sheehan. Still alive in the area. Conway tries to get himself free in the box, but runs into traffic, and Cardiff can try and stride forward with the ball. Robertson. Space out to the left to Willock. Christie coming across. Willock in the area. Onto that right foot. He's going to curl it towards the corner. And it's off the post and in. And Cardiff are now coasting away in this game. After a very high performance first half, it just left a little bit of frustration in the Cardiff ranks, just due to the fact they weren't able to get that first goal. But as soon as the second half starts, they've not just got one, they found themselves a second. All from a counter-attack. In G to Robertson, who got away from the sliding tackle of Dempsey. Broke into the Bolton half and then released the pass to Willock, who's been a threat all game, getting the better of Cyrus Christie. And he was allowed to cut in onto his right foot and just curl the ball with almost a pass-like finish into the far corner. And the floodgates have well and truly opened for Cardiff City. And they've doubled their lead early on in the second half. It's Cardiff 2, Bolton 0. He's earned that goal this afternoon, Chris Willock. He hadn't scored in any of his previous 10 games. He's not scored since Rotherham away, which was all the way back on the 2nd of February. But he's coming today for Kean Ashford, who's not in the matchday squad. And he's certainly made an impact. And Cardiff have got themselves 2 goals. Bolton still searching for their first shot of the game. Not their first shot on target, their first shot all together. And it's Cardiff who are going to start running away with it. And in fairness, with the way they were playing, they had to pick up 3 points in this game. Because next up, they've got to travel to Huddersfield, who is still just lurking around the playoff spots. And then they've got Reading away, who are just outside the playoff positions. Then some easier home games against Port Vale and Northampton before finishing away at Mansfield, who are just sitting more towards mid-table. Still 1-1 at the Emirates around the other grounds. Still no other goals in the Championship. Still no other goals in League 2. But we have had another goal for Lincoln. They're 2-0 up against Leyton Orient, and it's Exeter who lead away at Plymouth. And Plymouth, if they want any hope of trying to get into those playoff spots, they simply have to win today. A draw won't be good enough. The Stevenage have got games in hand and are points clear. Cardiff try and score a third. They try and attack down the right-hand side. Well defended there by Conway, but then runs into traffic of 2 blue shirts. It's now in G on the right wing, surrounded by Bolton shirts himself. Makes his way towards the corner flag. Last touch off the Cardiff full-back, and it'll roll for a goal kick for Bolton Wanderers, who in all fairness haven't really been in great form themselves recently. They've been able to pick up points, but they've not exactly been winning many games. They were able to win 2-1 away at Plymouth recently, and that was down to 10 men, but they've been drawing way too many games, including that draw in their most recent game against Stockport County at home, taking the lead in the 39th minute, but then being pegged back with one of the last touches of the first half through Sidibe. And they actually went behind in that game, but were able to get an equaliser with 10 to go. A very unfortunate own goal from Ben Osborne. As Cardiff attack down the right-hand side. Tanner this time wants to get on the score sheet. Cuts inside, shoots, and it deflects just wide of the near post. Very unfortunate for Ollie Tanner, searching for just his second league goal of the season. Just could not stop him from getting the shot off there. Conway. The deflection came off Johnston. And many thankful Bolton eyes saw that go past the post and behind for a corner. But the opening goal for Cardiff came from a corner. From an in-swinger from Bagan on that far side. Can they happen again? In it goes. It comes off a Cardiff man last. And it goes behind for a goal kick. Wasn't really able to get any proper touch on the ball to send it towards goal. I think it was Kellyman who scored the first goal with the header. Who I think it might have come off his shoulder or his back potentially. Didn't really know too much about it. As we're 56.5 minutes in, Bolton still searching for their first shot of the game. As they go long, it's up into the sky towards Dalby. Can't control it successfully. Took off him by Wintle, who strides forward with the ball through the middle of the pitch. He's got options left and right. Lays it off to his left to Willock. On his left foot. Back onto his right. Outside of the boot. Cross goes in. It's a header away by Johnston. Flick by OC22, but straight to Lawler. It's now Willock for Cardiff in the final third. Finds the run of Robertson, who is bundled to the ground by Christie. And the referee, I think, gives a free kick. It's not been one of his better games today. Cyrus Christie, the 33-year-old, he's really struggled. It is his first start since 3 weeks ago against Doncaster at home, but he has only started one of the previous 12 in the league. The former Irish international. Just away from the corner flag, it's going to be a Cardiff free kick, so a bit of a better angled corner really. So this is a prime opportunity to try and make it 3. Plenty of bodies in there to aim for. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinging delivery from Alex Robertson. Bagan is available as a short option. He'll put it in directly, and in it goes with the header. Couldn't quite direct it towards goal there, Colwill. And eventually cleared for Bolton. No one up there, so it'll be calmly dealt with at the back here by Perry and G. Goes into the centre circle to Wintle. Has Tanner out wide right if he wants to use him. Finds the number 11. keeps it simple, goes back into Wintle. It's over half an hour to go at the Cardiff City Stadium. Still Cardiff 2, Bolton 0. As they try and cement their spot and try and get as far away as possible from the teams below them, Cardiff, to cement their spot in second. Lawler sees a big switch out to the right-hand side. Has it got the perfect weight? It has. What a ball that is to Tanner towards the byline, running at Conway. He knows he wants it on his left foot. He can't stop him. Tanner with a left foot crossing himself just goes behind everyone. And he'll go for a Bolton throw-in on the opposite side. So it's a triple change for Bolton. I'm surprised it's took this long to make any changes. Thierry Gale is replaced by loanee from Charlton, Rob Apter. The second change, returning again back to the pitch for a second time this week. After spending months out injured, Amario, Cozier, Dubry will come on. Scored the winner in the reverse fixture between these two. He comes on for Cyrus Christie. And Kyle Dempsey in the midfield is also replaced by number 27, Ruben Rodriguez, who was brought in January from EC Vitoria. Just the one goal for him so far, and that was in their late miraculous comeback against Wickham a couple of weeks ago. So that does mean that OC22 will go into right back and Cozier Dubry will play as the right winger, Rob Apter off the left, and then Rod Rodriguez in the midfield, partnering alongside Josh Sheehan. Cardiff try and get through the left-hand side. Kellyman stopped in his tracks by OTC22. Another throw in for Cardiff on this near side. Bagan to Robertson. Willock into the middle to Wintle, surrounded by Bolton shirts. Just keeps it simple, going back there to Lawler. Burstow trying to get close, but Lawler sees another switch out to the right towards Tanner. Well read there by Conway, the left back. Nods it to his goalkeeper. Less than half an hour to go of the 90-minute time. And it's still Cardiff 2, Bolton 0. A header from a corner from Kellyman. And a wonderfully placed ball into the bottom corner by Willock. Bonham with the ball at his feet. Plays it simply to his left in the 18-yard box here to Johnston. Bonham to Toll, who can bring it away from the 18-yard box. Just never a clear option on for Bolton. The man marking and the pressing from Cardiff has been perfect all day. And they play it out of play, throwing for Cardiff in the Bolton half. Misplaced pass from Conway, looking for the recent substitute of Apter, on loan from Charlton, where he joined from Blackpool in the summer for £2 million. Didn't quite break in to Nathan Jones' side. Did score one goal in the Championship away from home against Cardiff in August. And he's still searching for his first Bolton goal. Bolton try and play out from the back. It's with their goalkeeper Bonham again. It's going to go long and high up towards Dalby on halfway. Can glance it on to Apter, who can't quite get it under control. That's poor. You can see he's just trying to guide himself into the game. And it's now with Willock. Skips beyond one Bolton man. And then plays it in between the lines, or tried to play in between the lines for Colwell. Well cut out by Johnston at the back for Bolton. Rodriguez, brilliant turn. Driving forward and playing a ball to Burstow. Is he onside? Flag stayed down. I think it was Bagan playing him on. But the touch wasn't right. And that's going to be a Bolton throw-in. Could have been a bit more from that. It's a positive start from Rodriguez for Bolton. That should be a Bolton throw-in, and it will be once more. OC22 with the throw. Finds Burstow. Works it back to OC22. Rodriguez to Apter. Cleared by Fish. One back for Bolton. It's now with Toll, the captain. Forced to go back to his centre-back partner of Johnston. 63 minutes played. Cardiff 2, Bolton 0. Sheehan can turn and is tripped from behind by Kellyman. Free kick for Bolton. Taken quickly and played into the Cardiff half. It's to the right flank to Cozier. Dubry. Can he make magic happen again for Bolton? Plays it inside to Burstow. Outside of the boot, shots, and it's an easy save. But that should cause for huge celebration for Bolton. That's their first shot of the game. And it comes in the 64th minute. An outside the boot attempt from Mason Burstow. That is how dominant Cardiff have been, how good they've been defensively. Never mind attacking, but defensively they have been so sound. And that's from the front. The press they've done from the front has helped the defence out massively. Cozier Dubry can't quite get away from Bagan. He then drags down the Cardiff fullback. And that's a free kick just before the halfway line for the Bluebirds, who can almost see promotion in their sights. It won't happen today, but this result is very much putting them in the strongest position possible. 25 minutes to go. We're going to get a quick timeout as the Cardiff goalkeeper Nathan Trott has gone down, requiring some treatment. Again, feels like this might be a little bit of a tactical timeout for both, more than anything. So both teams taking on some fluids and some tactical instructions from both benches of each of their staff. This will end a run of 3 games without a win for Cardiff in the league, drawing their last 2 to Peterborough away and Blackpool at home, and then before that they were beaten at home here to Wycombe Wanderers. But they're not allowing Bolton Wanderers to do the same thing, currently winning by 2-0. So, seems like every player's back into position. And of course, Nathan Trott's okay to continue in the Cardiff goal. And Cardiff are going to take their free kick they just won. With Joel Bagan. Tried to switch it out to the right towards Tanner. Pinpoint pass. And an excellent piece of control. Then playing it inside to Colwell. It's now to Kellyman. Can he get away from his defence? He's held in his face. Nothing in that. And that's gone through to the Bolton goalkeeper. Rolls out to Sheehan. Passes it forward. It was left by Rodriguez with a dummy, but he didn't find a Bolton shirt. Now Colwell again won back well by Rodriguez, who's had a positive impact since coming on. Looking like he can maybe do something for the Wanderers, but then he's given it away again, overrunning it this time. Tanner playing a ball inside to Colwell. Chops beyond Rodriguez. Colwell digs across out. Need away by Johnston. Headed back forward by Wintle. Clearance again for Bolton. As far as in G, who sends it into the sky. Header won by Conway for Bolton. Looking for Dalby. Brings the ball down, but poked away by Wintle. Johnston gets there first. Finds Cozier Dubry, who is tackled, but then the advantage is stopped. So the play will go back for the free kick for Bolton. Quarter of the game to go. Still 2-0 at the Cardiff City Stadium. At the Emirates, they're still at 1-1. Arsenal-Bournemouth. As Bolton are finding space now. Shot from afar from Burstow. Should have played the pass, but the deflection drops to Osi Tutu. Lays it off for Cozier Dubry. Inside to Sheehan. Cozier Dubry again. Gets away from Willock. He's got options left and right. He'll curl across in. It's header won by Dalby and off the post. Not sure the goalkeeper Trott was aware of how close that header was until it rattled the woodwork. Cozier Dubry back from injury, causing issues for opposition defences. Curled the ball in. Dalby won the header. Then it just curled back in towards goal. It did start off going wide and then just found its way curling back in. And it hit the outside of the post and away. Just a slight warning sign for Cardiff as Bolton are just trying to work themselves into this game in an attacking sense. Working their second shot in the 68th minute. Cardiff win it back off the Bolton midfield. Colwill. Tanner! Great save from Bonham. It's going to be kept in by Willock. The score of the second. Colwill. Just outside the 18-yard box on the left-hand side. 10-yard pass back to Wintle. Plenty of time on the ball for the number 6. Fish. To the far side now to Ng, the right back. Into the halfway line now to Fish. Decent press from Bolton, forcing Cardiff to go back to their goalkeeper Trott, who's positioned himself outside of his 18-yard box. And here he is on the ball, the 6'2" goalkeeper. Goes long out to the right. It's a great ball. Good control again as well. This time by Ng. Keeping the ball away from Apter. Colwill. Ng. No need to rush anything here for Cardiff City, as they do have a 2-goal advantage. Fish. Touch forward to get away from Burstow. And sliding tackle comes in from Rodriguez. It's a fair one, and Bolton can try and break. Fish out of position for Cardiff. Kozia Dubry. Pulled back by Bagan. That'll be a yellow card for the left back. Almost a slightly necessary yellow card there, because Kozia Dubry was getting away from his man and charging towards goal. "20 minutes to go until we hit minute 90. Sheehan with this free kick for Bolton on the right-hand side. You've got to get the weight of it right as Cardiff play a high line. He has got OC2 just out to his right if they want to try and build something short. Sheehan crosses it directly in towards the far post. It's an important touch from Kellyman. Still up in the air though. Needs to be dealt with by Fish, who can play it forward to Tanner. Willock's up there to the switch on the left. But he goes on his own. Tanner gets around Conway. Does it? He does. He enters the box. Oh, just gets the touch off the back of the heel. And Bolton can get rid. So unfortunate there for Tanner. Willock wanted the switch, but Tanner almost went on his own. Bolton attack down the left with Ruben Rodriguez. Gets away from Colwill. Does he? No, he doesn't. Brought down eventually. And that's going to be another free kick. Similar position to the last one. It's just on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. But the distance and how far wide it is pretty much the same. And within the last 5 minutes, Bolton have decided to somewhat turn up. They're still not doing anything overly dangerous, but they're at least trying to attack. So it's going to be a left-footed delivery this time. It's going to be the left back of Max Conway. It's going to be Rob Apter instead, who's also left-footed. The substitute come on recently for Bolton. So ball into the box. Everyone's missed it until it hits the head of Johnston at the far post, but he can't direct it on target. I don't think the Scottish centre-half expected that to reach him. It seemed like everyone in front of him was having a swing at it or trying to head it away. And it just landed onto his forehead pretty much unknowingly and couldn't direct it on target. Goal kick for Cardiff, as Bolton are still starting to rack up more shots. Better than the 0 they had in the first half. Big kick from Trott. Header away by Toll. Headed back forward by Bagan. Willock will chase it down the Cardiff left, but OC2 will get there first. Sends it to his goalkeeper Bonham, who switches it to the left to Johnston. Just taking too long with their passes from the back. It's like they're almost too hesitant to lose the ball, and then by the time they play it, all options are gone. Kozia Dubry switches it to the left. There's space here for Apter. Isolated with Ng. Goes on the outside, crosses, which deflects, and the corner can't be avoided. It's a set piece for Bolton. And in fairness, if the Wanderers can nick a goal here on a set piece, that makes it 2-1 with, around 20 minutes left to play probably. And they'll be well within a chance to get a point, even though I don't think they deserve one. They could be in a chance for it. The delivery needs to be spot on. It's an in-swinger. Into the box. It's a punch away from Trott. Falls to Kozia Dubry. Finds Apter towards the right-hand side. Furthest right is Burstow. On his left foot. Plays it to the edge of the area. Control from Conway. Shielding the ball. Keeping it. Playing it back out wide right to Burstow. Here's Apter. Onto his left foot. Crosses in. It's an inviting one. It's a header away. Chested by Kozia Dubry. And then tried to play it back into the box. But he's overcooked it. Goal kick for Cardiff with 16 to play. Cardiff 2, Bolton 0. And the home side are going to make a triple change of their own shortly. And it looks like Arsenal trail again at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2. Huge goal in the Premier League title race. Alex Scott with the goal. How very interesting. So the gap for Arsenal remains 9 points, with Manchester City having 2 games in hand and a visit from Arsenal to the Etihad Stadium. Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2. As here at the Cardiff City Stadium, it still remains 2-0 to Cardiff. Bolton have just slightly started to come out of their shell, but it's a little bit too little, too late, it feels. But as I've said, if Bolton can nick a goal on the counter-attack potentially, or from a set piece, then the deficit is cut in half. So certainly not over yet. Cardiff with a throw-in on the far side in the final third. Ng to take. Finds Kellyman. It's now Tanner. Trying to get inside the 18-yard box. Stopped in his tracks, but the clearance drops to Wintle for Cardiff. He runs straight into traffic at Dalby. Chance here for Bolton on the break. Dalby overhits the touch and he's sliding around, trying to get it back, but he can't. And it's now with Robertson for Cardiff. To the left-back Bagan, currently on a yellow card. Chips it towards Willock. Well defended there by OC Tutu, who looks to have maybe landed awkwardly on the ankle. There will be a pause in play for the throw-in anyway, as Cardiff are going to make their substitutions. So the first change, we'll see the scorer of the second, Chris Willock, who's been superb today. He'll be replaced by loanee from Liverpool, Callum Scanlon, making just his 7th appearance since joining right at the end of the January window. Was out of the matchday squad, though, for the game against Peterborough away, the last time out. Done his work today, Chris Willock, scoring his 8th league goal. It's his 10th altogether for Cardiff since joining from QPR in July 2024. Second change, we'll see David Turnbull come on, who hadn't started any of the previous 6 until starting in the game on Monday against Peterborough. He's back on the bench today, but he will come on. And he'll replace Alex Robertson, who somehow didn't score in the first half, but has played his part in the lead for 2-0. And the third and final change from this lot. We'll see. Captain Ruben Colwill be replaced, signed a new deal last month until 2030 for Cardiff. And he'll come off, and he'll be replaced by his brother, Joel Colwill, a couple of years younger. He's not scored since Wimbledon at home on the 17th of February. That's Cardiff's last home win. So, Ruben Colwill off for Joel Colwill. Must be a proud moment for the parents and the family of the Colwills. We've got 12 minutes plus added on time. Cardiff still have their 2-goal lead at 2-0, but Bolton, if they can somehow nick a goal, then the game becomes very interesting. Sheehan poking it down the right-hand side. Will it be kept in by Dalby? It will. Right on the line. And then Burstow kicks off Bagan. And then it's a throw-in for Bolton midway inside the Cardiff half on this near side. Back to Bonham. Across to the left centre half of Johnston. Conway. Finding Apter, who can't get it under control, and the ball will roll through to Will Fish at right centre-back, who comes across to keep the ball moving for Cardiff. He's been forced to his goalkeeper of Trott. Playing out from the back. It's a heavy touch from Fish. He loses out, but then wins it back off Apter. Made a mistake, but made up for it straight away. It's now Tanner trying to get on the outside of Conway. Well defended. It's been a pretty fair battle between those two on the Cardiff right. Tanner against Conway. More often than not, it is Tanner who's won, but Conway's not giving up. Continuing to battle with the Cardiff winger. Just over 10 minutes of the 90 to go. Burstow to Rodriguez. Skips beyond Colwill. Forward to Burstow, who's just found himself on the left-hand side. Playing it into the space here for Apter, who will reach it ahead of Ng and then gets across towards Dalby. It just avoids him. And it'll run through here for Scanlon for Cardiff. Playing it back to Bagan. Low ball forward to Wintle. He'll try and find Scanlon down the left. It'll run through towards Toll, who will get there ahead of the substitute. And it's now with Bonham. To Johnston. A little bit of life coming into the Bolton team as Apter's brought down on halfway by Ng. That's going to be a free kick for Bolton with 10 to play. This is how poor they've been away from home, Bolton. This is their 22nd game away from home in the league. They've only scored 23, conceding 27. Just completely let themselves down away from home this season. This is why they're in the predicament they are of having to go through the playoff positions. OC Tutu to Sheehan in the middle of the half for Cardiff through Burstow. Try to slip it for Dalby, but just miscontrols and it's cleared. But it's one back. Sheehan, he's going to strike it from afar. And it's a couple of yards wide. Trott, the goalkeeper, not happy with the fact that he was able to get the shot away. But it was always curling away from goal. And it remains 2-0 to Cardiff. As we played 81 minutes here at the Cardiff City Stadium. Trott to take the goal kick. Looking towards Tanner on the right-hand side, over his head and Conway. And we'll just bounce out for a throw-in for Bolton, midway inside their own half. Just one clean sheet in their last 6 at home for Cardiff. That came against Barnsley. Against Blackpool, in one of their more recent games when they drew 0-0. Bonham in the 18-yard box for Bolton. Toll. Finds Sheehan on the edge of the area. Bit of time on the ball for the number 8. Did feature for Wales in the most recent international break in their friendly against Northern Ireland. Burstow. Back into Toll. Then out wide to OC Tutu. Pushed from behind by Scanlon. Free kick for Bolton. Taken quickly. Played back to the halfway line to Toll. Sheehan. Gets away from Turnbull and then fires it towards Cozier Dubry. Almost hit his throat and bounces out of play for a throw-in for Cardiff. As Bolton are going to make a change. And it's a surprising change. They've not got many more attacking options on the bench, in fairness. So they're going to have to call upon some youthfulness. And Mason Burstow, their top scorer in the league with 11 goals, comes off. And he is replaced by Toby Ritchie. Just his second appearance of the season. His only other appearance was off the bench against Oldham in the EFL Trophy in the group stage. And he scored in that game. And that's his only ever appearance for Bolton. This is now appearance number 2. It's only the 3rd time he's been named on the bench for Bolton, where he's not come on. And now he has. So 4 matchday squad appearances for Toby Ritchie. And it's 2 appearances off the bench. And he'll be hoping to score again, like he did against Oldham earlier on in the season in the EFL Trophy. Just 18 years of age. labelled by Bolton as one of their brightest homegrown prospects. And when he signed his pro deal, Toby Ritchie, in January of this year, he described it as, "It's unbelievable for me and my family," just showing how in football it is never just about the individual, but the family they've had around them to get them to this point, to make it as a professional footballer. But they need him to come on and make an impact if possible. But it's Cardiff on the ball at the moment, trying to see out this game with 6 to play. Lawler driving forward from centre-half, playing it into the space towards Bagan. Just too much on it, and it's well defended by OC22. He will play it towards the centre of the pitch. And here is Ritchie, first few touches on the ball for the 18-year-old. Rodriguez looking over the top for Cozier Dubry. Cut out by Wintle, controlled by Bagan. Plays it back to Scanlon. It's now with the goalkeeper Trott. Takes no risks. First time left-footed clearance, high up towards the halfway line. Headed down by Toll to OC22, who can keep it in and get it away from Kellyman. Oh no, it's gone out. Was it a free kick? Free kick, throw-in? I don't know which one it is. Free kick. Kellyman a little bit too aggressive on OC22. Not quite sure on that one, but the free kick's been given. Bolton have already worked it out to the left-hand side. Here's Ritchie. Straight off the bench and into the action. Looking for Apter. Ng kicks it off the winger. And it's a throw-in for Cardiff, who are going to put themselves 10 points clear of third place Bradford with these 3 points. Cardiff go long up towards Kellyman. Chested down by Toll. And Bolton are in possession midway inside their own half here. Cozier Dubry, right in the middle of the pitch, right on the centre circle spot. Gets the ball returned to him a bit further out wide this time. Goes back into the middle to Sheehan. To the left to Johnston. To Conway, sorry. Then to Apter. Conway gets the ball returned to him, but then runs into traffic, but then is helped out by his teammate Ritchie to win the ball back. Toll. Into Johnston. Bit of possession for Bolton, which is a rare occurrence in this game. Rodriguez. To Cozier Dubry, about 25 yards out, running towards goal. Plays it to his left to Rodriguez, just too far in front of him, can't control it. It's now Turnbull to work it to Tanner on the right wing for Cardiff. Being forced to go back here by Conway, tries to turn, can't do so. One back. Sheehan to Apter, into the middle towards Dalby, just too far behind him again. And cleared long and far for Cardiff. As far as Toll, who heads it back to his goalkeeper. Cardiff have it with their goalkeeper Trott. Bolton tried to go forward towards Dalby, just too much on it. Fish bundled off the ball as he passed it. No free kick given, so throwing for Bolton towards the halfway line with 3 minutes to play. Yeah, just 5 wins from their last 12 for Cardiff since the 31st of January. Cardiff are going to make a late change. The scorer of the first goal straight after half-time from the corner. Fantastic header from Amari Kellyman to get his 8th goal of the season in the league. And he's going to be replaced by Yusuf Salek, who was out between January and March. His cameo appearance off the bench against Peterborough last time out was his first appearance since his neck injury he picked up here at home against Stockport County on the 21st of January. It's been a long road to recover it, but he's now back with back-to-back appearances off the bench in the league. And he was having such a good season as well, Yusuf Salek, with 12 goals in 28 league appearances. He had 2 in his last 8 before his injury. As we've had a stoppage in play here, a clash of heads, where I think Dylan Lawler has come out worse between the two players. So the physios are on the pitch quickly with 2 minutes to go just to make sure he's okay, the youngster. Lawler is back to his feet, making his way towards the touchline as Coventry Sheffield Wednesday. That's still 0-0. That's a bit of a shock result at the moment. Norwich 0, Ipswich 2, and still 0-0 between QPR and Bristol City. In League One, it's Lincoln 2, Leyton Orient 1. They pulled one back with about 12 minutes to go. Ballard with another goal. Plymouth Exeter's 2-2. It was 1-0 to Exeter, then Plymouth equalised at 1-1, and then Wareham for Exeter scored with 3 minutes to go, and then Plymouth have equalised again in the 90th minute through Boateng. Plymouth need to nick a winner in that game if they want any chance of playoffs. Minute to go with this one. Apter playing it into the space. It drops here for Ritchie, the youngster. Works his way into the area. Good feet. Sheehan takes over. Right-footed shot. Blocked. Goes towards Apter, but it can be poked away by Ng. And that's the closest Bolton have come for some time. Cozier Dubry to Rodriguez. Needs to keep the ball. Plays it back towards the halfway line to Toll. Across to Johnston. Out wide left to Conway. Can he get around Tanner? Not being allowed to go forwards. Has to go back. Good pressing again. All the way through the game. Cardiff have pressed from the front brilliantly. Always forcing Bolton back. And then they force them to go long. Dalby does win that header this time. And Bolton have been able to keep the ball from a long ball. Apter down the left-hand side into the space here for Ritchie. Trying to drive inside. He pushes his defender in the back as he tries to get round him. And that's going to be a free kick for Cardiff in a right-back position. 6 minutes added on. We had a couple of stoppages with a couple of injuries, which didn't seem like real injuries, more tactical breaks. So 6 added on. Still Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2 at the Emirates. They're just going into their added on time. Not sure how long's added on yet. 5 added on for Arsenal to save themselves. Long ball for Cardiff. Salek can't quite get there, the substitute striker. And it's going to be rolled out to the left centre half of Johnston. Conway forward here to Ritchie. Picking up the ball on plenty of occasions, the youngster. And he finds Apter running at the right back of Ng. Gets away from him. Apter trying to poke it through for Dalby. He's put too much on it. And it'll go through to the goalkeeper, Trott. And just too little too late for Bolton. The last 20 minutes, they've actually looked like a team who could potentially play and score. But that first 70 minutes was just completely useless. And to be fair, the scoreline is honestly makes this game look a lot closer than it is. Cardiff have been brilliant. One of the better League One performances I've seen this season. I've seen plenty of the Stockport County season ticket holder, so I've seen plenty of League One football this season. Off to Wembley as well tomorrow for the Virtue final, trophy final against Luton, which will be an interesting affair, let's just say that. Going to be completely outnumbered, but that's okay. Long ball for Cardiff, out towards the right, kept in with a header from Tanner. That's brilliant. It's now Turnbull who's got space to run into. He'll play it back into the space here for Tanner in the box. Cuts in, angles tight, plays it across. Good block from OC22. Here's Turnbull for Wintle, who will have a free shot at it, and it's a heroic block, I think, by Conway, and it somehow remains 2-0. Tanner chopping away from Conway and just playing a low ball across, and it was almost a tap-in for Joel Colwill, but OC22 got the touch away, and then Wintle had a shot after being laid off with the ball. Just couldn't quite hit the corners there. Took a deflection anyway, and behind for a corner. It's less than 4 minutes to go. As Cardiff try and score another. They've scored 91 goals all season in all competitions, 76 now in League One. It's going to be an in-swinging delivery. Looks like it might be from Turnbull. Bit of a deeper one, punched away by Bonham, but there's a foul within the 6-yard box. And it's a free kick for Bolton, who will stay on 70 points. Below them, Stockport County have 67, but they'll have 2 games in hand on Bolton with 3 points behind them. Stevenage also will have 2 games in hand on Bolton, and they're currently 8 points off Bolton Wanderers. Cardiff are already back in possession, less than 3 to play. Over the top ball from Ng. Can he find Colwill? He can. Colwill in behind. He just can't quite get the touch. It's a free kick for a handball anyway by Colwill, taken quickly by Bonham. Sheehan knocked to the ground by Scanlon. Free kick for Bolton just towards the halfway line. Playing it forward towards Dalby. Again, it's just shot forward too quick. Can't take it under control. And through to Trott, the goalkeeper. He will take his time here with the ball. We're actually going to get a stoppage here from the referee, Elliot Bell. Who's just running over towards, I think, was it Sheehan who was knocked over? Or was it OC22 is the one down? Doesn't need medical attention. He's going to get back up. Slightly hobbling, but there's only 2 minutes left to play. And at the Emirates, there's just a minute left for Arsenal to try and get an equaliser. In League One, Plymouth and Exeter still 2-2, but they've got a minute and a half left. Lincoln still holding on to their 3 points against Leyton Orient at the moment at 2-1. Back to this game, Trott trying to find Salek up front, a bit too far away from the striker, and that'll roll for a goal kick for Bolton as we've got 90 seconds left here at the Cardiff City Stadium. It's ended 0-0 between QPR and Bristol, so still unbeaten Bristol City under Roy Hodgson. Just over a minute left to play. Apter. Touch is heavy, just about kept in. Plays it back to Conway, goes into the middle to Rodriguez, who can get away from Winsell. And plays it to his right to Cozier Dubry. Got OC224 from right back, and he'll find the number 14. Into the middle to Sheehan. Fires it out wide to Apter, who can never get that under control. And Cardiff have it back with less than a minute to go. And they completely slow the game down. Turnbull does turn to face forward and then just caught from behind. They thought it was a slip. The referee sees it as a foul, and that's going to be a free kick and probably not the ending of proceedings yet, but by the time they take this free kick, it'll more and likely be the time for the referee to blow the whistle for full time. 20 seconds to go. Trott comes across to take the free kick for Cardiff, about midway side of their own half. And he clips it down the middle, up towards Salek. Header won by Toll instead. Out to Conway at left back for Bolton. We've played the 6 minutes of added on time, and the referee blows the full-time whistle here. And it finishes Cardiff City 2, Bolton 0. A very deserved 3 points for Cardiff City, who try and get themselves back into the Championship at the first time of asking. They've gone through some poor form as of late. Just 2 wins from their last 8 in the league before today. But they have proven why they are in the top 2 in this division and why they will more than likely be in the second division of English football next season. The first half was completely dominant from Cardiff, but were not able to get a goal in the game. And it was only until around the 60th, I think it was the 63rd minute, Bolton had their first shot. But before that, Cardiff had their 2 goals scored in the 50th minute through Amari Kellyman from the corner, peeled away from the crowded 6-yard area and had a bullet header into the bottom left corner to give Cardiff a lead. And then just 2 minutes later, Chris Willock made it 2-0 on the break. Ng played it forward. Robertson broke into the Bolton half, laid it out to the left to Chris Willock, who cut inside onto his right foot. Chris Willock, who was probably one of the better players in the game, gave Cyrus Christie an absolute run around, and he was able to curl it off the post in towards the bottom right corner. Cardiff probably could have had a few more goals in the second half, but they were very content with the 2-goal lead. Bolton were able to get a few shots at goal, never really testing Nathan Trott in between the sticks for Cardiff City. And in the end, it's a pretty comfortable win here at the Cardiff City Stadium. It finishes Cardiff City 2, Bolton Wanderers 0. Hope you did enjoy the live commentary. Make sure you like and subscribe before you go. Not quite sure when I'll be commentating next, but I'll certainly be commentating on some of the playoff games that will be coming up within the next few weeks. I'll try and do a few more commentaries before then, but certainly worth subscribing for those playoff games that will be coming up very soon, especially in this League One playoff race when you're going to have Bolton, Stockport County, Bradford, potentially Stevenage all taking on each other. That'll definitely lead to some very interesting games. But that is the end of the live stream. Make sure you do like, subscribe before you go. Hope you enjoy. here at the Cardiff City Stadium. It was rampant, it was dominant. Bolton completely played off the park. Cardiff deserved winners. They are now 10 points clear of third. In that automatic position, it's only a matter of time until promotion is guaranteed. Couldn't quite do it yet today, but they've took a huge step towards it. As here at the Cardiff City Stadium, it finishes Cardiff City 2, Bolton Wanderers 0.